TV ads a couple £100. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Folks, we have Ninth Sister and Krennic's Omicron to talk about today. I'll be doing a separate video for the State of the Galaxy that was just released, so you can find that in the video description if you want to find the link, or if you stay to the end of this video, it'll just be linked on the end cap so that you guys can just push one button instead of like 3 to get there. So reduce that carpal tunnel, but actually increase it by hitting the like button on this or making a comment. Please, trying to straddle the algorithm, guys. Mount the algorithm. I need your help. You guys get it by now. I need to stop. I'm working on a graphic now for Reels now that I have some actual money. That'll be here one day, once someone gets out their hindquarters and does it. So, that being said, we've got the Ninth Sister to discuss today, and I don't know, she's interesting, for sure. She's literally big boned. Look at her chin. She's got the couple gnarly little, chin bones, just jutting out of the chin there. I don't even know. So weird. She's wearing a little visor, and I wouldn't advise that. Just looks weird, but whatever. So we've got the stereotypical tank, right? She's like, "Hey, I'm big," and the CG is like, "Hey, you could be a tank because you're big," and no shade on anyone with a non-traditional body type. I mean, I've got my dad bod here, so I'm the first to admit that there are, there's nothing to see here, or maybe too much to see, as you will. But let's talk about. Some of these jokes are just too easy, guys. So let's see. She's a tank, a leader, inquisitorious, empire, unaligned force user. Look at that, double R, unaligned force user. It's like user error almost. They almost did it, guys. So, all right, she's got a bunch of purge abilities. Whatever. So let's look at them, I guess. So purge max 6. The thing that's going to be interesting about this one, guys, is remembering once we get a 5-man Inquisition team, we're going to end up with so many different abilities that either add purge or subtract purge depending on who we're facing. So this Jedi, by the way, is this Inquisitor brought to you today by Jedi Knight Skywalker. Jedi Knight JKL. Jedi Knight Luke. Dear Lord. Jedi Knight Skywalker isn't a thing, is it? Because let me know in the comments. Apparently, I don't know anything. But, alright, so does more damage. This one cracks me up. I don't expect her to do any damage, but it's cool. So deal damage, physical damage to the target enemy. Then deal physical damage again, dealing 40% more damage. I mean, okay, so it does damage, then damage again for 40%. No one's gonna notice. It's just one lump thing. But again, we're doing the damage and then another instance of damage thing. And she's a tank, so she's probably not gonna hit that hard. She looks kind of seems like she's just mailing it in, honestly. It looks flashier than anything. She's just let's twirl a little bit. So if the target is a Jedi, then it puts more purge on them. Great, so they do more damage against Jedi. That's to be expected, I suppose. Luckily, Rey is not a Jedi, so haha. Check this out. So she ignites her lightsaber when she's about to do her AoE thing. So it's not worth my time, she says. And this one's pretty interesting, I guess. I don't know. So it consumes all stacks of purge. So if you've been real cautious and added stacks of purge like crazy to opponents, and you have a ton of them saved, don't push this button lightly, because you just you purge all of your purge stacks. And so it puts a bunch of damage over time effects on the target enemy for one turn. And Ninth Sister gains that many heal over times. So it makes you wonder. So, they're already adding synergy with Darth Vader. I almost wonder if this is just, he's going to be their leader. Honestly, they're going to add something cool for Vader's lead. even though his lead is already decent, but his lead already clings to all those damage over time. Just think, you have 20 stacks of Purge on someone, and this one, yeah, oh, so this isn't the AoE, sorry, but anyway, she does this, and she inflicts that many damage over time, and then Vader's like, oh no, those don't go away. Like, don't consider those as gone. Like, this is a good way, good synergy with Vader lead, whether or not that's intentional. I mean, CG makes good kits. I bet that it is intentional. So, alright, next we've got Ground Pound. How many pounds, though? That's the question. So, deal damage, physical damage to all enemies and inflict daze. So this is an AoE daze. It's defense down, potency down for 2 turns, which can't be resisted by Jedi. This is a major middle finger to all Jedi, but Jedi Master Luke, think of this character. So she's an unaligned Force user. Think of her. I would love it, man. I would wail on her if I had money. I would love to take her on a Lord Vader team, actually, because she's an unaligned Force user, so she gets all of the cool benefits of being on his team. And then she's probably slow. I mean, he's gonna make her faster, I guess, but like, he's gonna do his daze, and then the Jedi are gonna go, they're gonna dispel it, and then she's gonna put another daze down. They can't resist it. And she's a tank, so she gets all the cool stuff as well. And she does dots. Like, she seems like she fits just perfectly with Lord Vader, actually, as tank. And she's gonna be buff. She has all these cool defense stuff. I mean, who cares about Purge at this point? We'll learn all about Purge once we get more characters. So the leadership is interesting, actually. So all allies are immune to speed limiting effects. That specifically targets the Jedi Knight Luke. That's what it does. It's Jedi Knight Luke's ability. Whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, all Inquisitorious allies gain 2% potency and tenacity. So, I mean, I guess that's an interesting one, because bonus turn meter, like, Luke doesn't really give a ton of bonus turn meter. Like, he does some okay things with, like, Grandmaster Yoda would probably do. If Grandmaster Yoda's on the team, then sure, you'll gain some of that stuff, but it's only 2% potency and tenacity, and like I said, Jedi Knight Luke doesn't gain a huge amount of bonus turn meter. So I don't know what, maybe this is, the impact of it is bigger than I think, but gain potency and tenacity, stacking, like, if it's a long drawn out fight, then maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know, like, the lead, let's see, if the enemy's a Jedi, they have a 50% to gain stacks of Purge, so so Grandmaster Yoda's going to be just dropping all kinds of Purge all over them. Let's see, to the end of the encounter. And then Territory Wars Omicron. So this is a leadership Omicron. Territory Wars, all Empire allies gain extra defense, and they're all immune to ability block and stun. So in Territory Wars against Jedi Knight Luke lead, like, because you see Jedi Knight Luke lead a ton in Territory Wars, but if you did, then their whole team couldn't be ability blocked or stunned, which, I mean, that's okay, I guess. What I really like about this Omicron, actually, is that I don't have to spend it. I don't have to feel tempted to spend it. This is dumb, and it sucks. So maybe it'll be good with the full Inquisitorious, and maybe eventually they'll release a Jedi that is actually good enough to be the lead in Territory Wars. But as it stands, this strikes me as a non-factor, guys. They're like, you know what, we promised we'd put an Omicron on everyone, so let's throw a worthless one on her, because we're gonna follow through. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this seems, I mean, immune to ability block and stun, that can be useful, but I mean, if you're specifically targeting Jedi here, and it doesn't seem that helpful. I mean, what I was hoping for, the speed limiting effects, the way I first read it, and I was wrong the first time I read it, but the way I first read it was, I thought that this was like, you can't restrict turn meter gain, which seems really cool. That would be really awesome, actually, because then you could go in against a team with, like, Hux, with Supreme Leader Kylo and Hux, and just get your normal turn meter gain. Like, that would be pretty cool. Especially because she could actually, this one is interesting too, not that you would really do this, but if for some reason you needed to be immune to the speed limiting effects, this is just allies. Like, you could take a squad of Jedi led by her, and then you'd be immune to this. Not that that will be good, but, I mean, that's a universal trait. She does that just as a leadership, period. It's like General Skywalker leading a bunch of, I don't know, Sith to battle, a bunch of Jawas, whatever. He doesn't gain a bunch of other stuff that he normally gets from 501st, but he still makes it so that no one can revive, because that's in his leadership and that's universal. So, meanwhile, unique, it's just a scratch. So for each other Empire ally present at the start of battle, so Empire specifically, 9th Sister gains 5% defense, max health, and tenacity. So the max health is probably the one that matters more, and it's doubled for Inquisitorious allies. So, I mean, that's pretty good. You get 40% extra health and tenacity. I mean, that's not bad. And, 40% defense. It's just so hard to measure what defense does. I really need to do a deep dive into that stat, because it's not clear. It's not intuitive to me. Let's see. Each time another Empire ally is damaged by a crit, she gains taunt. So she passively taunts. She can't actually taunt on her own. Taunt on. I'm not comparing her to a taunt con, guys. I'm not that brutal. And 50% critical avoidance. I'm like, hey, like, no, let's not taunt the tauntaun. 50% critical avoidance for one turn. So she stacks it. It doesn't say stacking, though. Each time this happens, she gains this, she gains taunt, and 50% crit avoid. Like, you'd think if it was stacking, it would say this. But I guess we'll have to test it. And Empire allies gain 20% crit avoid for one turn. Like, is that stacking as well? I don't know. And if the ally is also an Inquisitorious, she recovers extra health. The extra health, that's cool. She heals herself. I mean, she looks like an overly complicated tank, guys. That's what she looks like. She's crazy. She's okay. I mean, I would love to take her with Lord Vader. I think we're gonna see that, because the double days is gonna be really nice against Jedi Master Luke teams and everything. All right, let's look at Krennic here right quick, folks, shall we? Let's look at Krennic, even if he doesn't want us to. Very good. Let's get Krennic. Get our Krennic on. Yeah, okay, so he got a GAC Omicron, which, it's intriguing at first, right? I mean, I'm always excited when I see it's a GAC one, because maybe it's the new, cool, fancy one. So Krennic gains 30% defense penetration. So, and they did a spiel on this with the road ahead thing. It's, defense penetration. Does this mean that it just ignores 30% of defense? Because, 30% of that's okay. He does okay damage, actually. Let's see. He also gains extra health and offense, so he already kind of hit hard. He'll hit a little bit harder now. If Death Trooper is present, he also gains these bonuses. So, I mean, they're both hitting harder. The defense penetration doesn't, make him weaker, even if it kind of sucks. And, well, let's see. So this is his unique, so it's not limited to him being a leader. That's nice, at least. If Death Trooper is present, he gains this stuff. Whenever Krennic attacks, Death Trooper is called to assist. Which is nice, because if we call Krennic to assist, then Krennic will assist, and then Death Trooper will as well. Death Trooper is called to assist, and has his cooldowns reduced by 1, which is nice. Like, Death Trooper can actually spam his AoE, which increases cooldowns, which, that could be nice. While allied Death Trooper is active, both Krennic and Death Trooper ignore taunt, which is nice. And I forget who keeps who alive. I think Krennic revives Death Trooper if he dies, though. Let's see. I guess we can look, can't we? Hold on. Let's see. If Death Trooper is present, he gains some other bonuses. He gets stuff. I don't know. You can't crit Krennic. Like, there's all sorts of cool stuff. Maybe it's the Dark Trooper, the Death Trooper who can get him back. One way or another. One of them revives the other. And I don't know. This looks okay. Like, honestly, I'd be a little excited. Like, my buddy Hens is always excited. He's always talking about Krennic. And, you know, when Hens is excited about a kit, sometimes you just totally disregard because he's eccentric. But, I mean, he's just recently number 13 on the leaderboards without having a 7-star Ki-Adi-Mundi. So, you know, or Star Killer or any of those toys. So, you know, you got to listen to him some at least. And he, you know, he beats good players. So, I think this looks okay, but here's the thing, guys. Aiden, even at 3 stars, Aiden wants Death Trooper. She really wants Death Trooper real bad, and Death Trooper wants her. In fact, I wrote some fan fiction to discuss this. You know. So here's the story, guys. I'll read it to you, just in case you're illiterate. I wrote a story. Krennic walked into the house he shared with his life partner, Death Trooper. Good news! They buffed our interactions, and we might finally be usable in GAC, he started to say as he walked into the bedroom, only to be interrupted by Death Trooper and Aiden Versio getting it on. We were this close to greatness, he mumbled as he left them to it. And that's it, guys. Krennic has no place on an Aiden team, and Death Trooper needs to be on that team. So, I mean, that's unfortunately, like, Aiden's too good. She's way too good to just pass up for Krennic. Like, this could be a really, really strong one in 3v3. I know that you guys love to hate 3v3, some of you at least, and I get that. And this might not, I mean, an Omicron for just 3v3 seems pretty crap, but it might be okay. I mean, we'll have to look at it. We'll reevaluate when 3v3 gets here, but right now it's just not good enough. So, all right, we're gonna call it good here, folks. This has we just wanted to talk about this. I'll talk about the road ahead here pretty soon in a different video. It should be appearing on the screen at some point here pretty soon. If you've listened to this whole thing this whole time, let me know what you think of Ninth Sister. How does she add to the Inquisitorious team? She looks pretty interesting. I don't know. She's way more interesting than whatever sister. That's what's gonna get confusing. It's like, use the sister. It's like, which sister? Like Ninth Sister, Night Sister? I just don't know. We're gonna get more sisters and brothers though. I just know it. So, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zereth prevails.